Man, am I glad I brought my repel this time. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I'm not sure what else to say about Pokemon Gold and Silver other than they're fucking awesome. If you're one of those people who got introduced to Pokemon after second generation, you have to go back and play Pokemon Gold and Silver. I know the retro Pokemon fans will agree with me, but if there's still some of you new age Pokemon fans out there going, oh no, the new games are better, just shut up and listen, because I'll tell you how. The Pokemon Gold and Silver games are probably one of the best examples of how to do a sequel properly of any game that I've ever played. The basic mechanics of the game are basically the same from the original Pokemon Red and Blue games. You run around, catch Pokemon, battle them, beat trainers, collect items, evolve your Pokemon, level up, and try to become the Pokemon Master. The difference here is in the sheer amount of content that they've added into the sequel that just improves the game in so many levels. These games added in about 100 new Pokemon into the mix, which brings the total up to around 250 Pokemon that you can collect, catch, and battle with in these games. That's an insane amount of potential companions in an RPG game. That's in addition to the amount of new moves and new Pokemon types that they've added in to deepen the gameplay even more. Get a load of this guy. In addition to the changes in the basic gameplay, there were tons of other features that were added in that just make things way more fun. A day, night, morning, evening cycle for catching Pokemon and having different times for events to occur. Awesome! A bug catching contest to compete against the CPU to catch the best Pokemon and win prizes. That's great! Additional Game Corner mini games that add in new ways to earn the coins and buy unique and rare Pokemon. Sending money back to your mom magically after you win a battle so that she can purchase unique items for you, decorative in your home, or items that really benefit you along your journey. Yes, that does it! I win this battle! Now pay up! Thank you! I think I'm gonna send some of this to my mom. Perfect! Happiness levels for Pokemon and certain type of Pokemon that only evolve when their happiness is at a certain point. Hey, why are you so upset? I only let you faint like 10 or 20 times. No, shh. It's okay. Yeah. You like that. That's nice. There we go. Also in Pokemon Gold and Silver was when they added in the breeding and egg mechanics to the game. This added in a deep and interesting challenge for players to find the appropriate match for the two Pokemon to breed a new Pokemon, maybe with a unique moveset, with moves from both parents. Pokemon that you could only get from creating eggs, which added a new challenge for players who wanted to try to catch all of the Pokemon. And this mechanic was introduced at a perfect time in the gameplay. Players were far enough along their journey that they feel like maybe they could spare a few Pokemon to try to breed and try to get into that mechanic early in the game so they could experiment with it throughout the rest of the game. New HM moves were added in, but though in fairness these didn't really change the gameplay up that much. Whirlpool was basically just a similar version of Cut but in the water, and Waterfall just allowed you to climb up the waterfall opening up a new door. They were basically the same, but still, good effort. All of these things that I just listed were new additions to the game that weren't in Red and Blue, that were added in Gold and Silver. Huge effort was made to increase the gameplay and variety for players in these additions. Even if players didn't really like one particular area, there were still tons of other stuff to explore and use alongside the basic gameplay of collecting them all and becoming the league champion.
Oh, yeah, you want me to demonstrate how to do a 50-50 grind? For sure, one sec.
So you get on the rail and you just do this. It should work out for you every time. Look at this dude! The newly added Johto Region was fairly easy to navigate with interesting areas to traverse, with one exception of the confusion of once you get to Ekrutik City, which do you go, right or left? I always went left, but I think maybe you were supposed to go right, I wasn't sure, but the game was balanced enough that either way you went, it was maybe more challenging, but it still worked. The Gold and Silver games are still the only games in the Pokemon series to allow you to go from one region to another, including two full playable regions in the game with 8 badges for each. That's 16 badges for the player to collect and win. The new Johto region that was new to players, giving them something interesting to explore, and then revisiting the Kanto region from red and blue versions with new changes, gym leader changes, stronger Pokemon, and different elements. It's crazy to me that no other game in the series has thought to involve different regions into the game. Maybe calling back to a region from a previous edition of the game. That is so much fun, seeing the changes and being rewarded for playing the previous versions in the series. Why not, Nintendo? As well, these games included maybe one of the best challenges of any Pokemon game ever. Facing Red as a final boss with extremely high level Pokemon was a huge mountain to overcome and gave players a reason to continue on after beating the Elite Four and served as some sort of final finish for the game. You could play around, change, and evolve all the different kinds of Pokemon that you wanted and work your way up, having fun until you are strong enough to face Red, the final boss of the game. Get a load of this guy. The presentation was also much improved from Red and Blue to Gold and Silver, with new and improved sprites, taking out completely the ugly, disgusting ones and adding in new ones that actually look like a damn Pokemon. The animations, sounds, everything is all taken to the next level in this game, including the Game Boy Color support for colors, nice. And they included an experience bar for each Pokemon so that when you earned it, it would go up. Thank you, that is so handy. Why did they not think to have that in the original? My maybe one and only critique of Gold and Silver is how they managed the progression of the game. Players can breeze through the first 6 gyms and then reach a point where the Pokemon levels of the enemies stop increasing super fast, so your Pokemon end up getting a little bit out of whack if you're the type to face all the different trainers. So you end up facing a bunch of easy trainers and kind of stagnating, going, okay guys, let's move on to the next challenge. And in the Kanto region, when you go back, all the gym leaders have about the same level of Pokemon, so towards the end you'll start to be feeling it's getting pretty easy. And what I would have liked to see is that the second time you come around to Elite Four, maybe they just level up their Pokemon, making them more challenging to kind of bridge the gap between the Elite Four and facing Red at the end. There's a huge gap there, and it takes a while to build up your Pokemon's levels to be strong enough to compete with Red. Holy shit, Lance! What are you doing, man? You could have killed that guy! Pokemon Gold and Silver were designed to be the final Pokemon games, and it clearly shows. The amount of content that was added in here from the originals is well executed and beautiful. I wish Pokemon games were still made with this level of detail, instead of just remaking the old titles, adding in new art and animations and stuff like that. Nintendo, why can't we see one Pokemon game that includes all the regions, or at least a few of the fan favorites? Either way, Gold and Silver are, in my opinion, perfect examples of how to correctly do a sequel. So, f*** it. My final verdict for Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver is a 10 out of 10. Legendary games. Like I said, if you're one of those new age Pokemon fans who hasn't ever had a chance to play these Pokemon Gold and Silver games, I highly recommend going back and see where a lot of the mechanics that are mainstays in the genre came from. These are the first games to introduce a lot of this stuff, so I recommend you go back and check things out for yourself. Anyway, that'll do it for Pokemon Gold and Silver. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit that like button, or maybe hit subscribe. I would really appreciate it. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time on Yes Guy Gaming.